The sky has always called to us. People would look up, they watched birds in flight, gliding, soaring, free. Humans yearned for this freedom, to rise above the earth, to travel through the air. It was an ancient, powerful dream. Many believed it was impossible. Before airplanes, the world was vast. Travel was slow and often hard. Great oceans separated lands. Tall mountains were mighty barriers. Journeys could take many weeks, or even months to complete. People longed for a faster way, to connect, to explore. The late 19th century arrived. It was a time of great change, an age of bold invention. Progress was in the air. New machines were appearing. Steam engines powered trains. Telephones carried voices far. People dared to try new things, to solve difficult problems. This is a story of that time. It is about two brothers, Wilbur and Orville Wright. They gave the world wings. Wilbur and Orville Wright. They grew up in Dayton, Ohio. Their family was close-knit. The brothers shared a strong bond. They often worked together, from a very young age. They were curious about the world, and how things operated. They always had projects. Shared dreams filled their minds. They loved to tinker and build. Their minds were always active. As young men, they were resourceful. They started a small printing press, publishing their own newspaper. Later, they opened a bicycle shop. This shop became their workshop. They learned about mechanics there, fixing bicycles, building them too. These skills proved invaluable. Wilbur was the older brother. He was often quiet, thoughtful, a dedicated reader and scholar. Orville was more outgoing, full of energy and optimism. Together they made a perfect team. They were not trained engineers, but they were brilliant inventors. The problem of flight captivated them. They decided they would solve it. Otto Lilienthal was a hero. He made many glider flights, a true pioneer of the air. But in 1896, he crashed. Lilienthal died from his injuries. This news was a shock. For the Wrights, it was not an end. It strengthened their resolve. They saw the risks involved, but they also saw the challenge. The brothers studied birds intently. They spent hours watching them. How did birds stay aloft? How did they turn so gracefully? How did they maintain balance? They noticed birds changed wing shapes to control their movement. Nature itself was their teacher. These observations were crucial, a key to their future success. Their approach was very methodical. They believed control was paramount. This was different from others. Many focused only on power. The Wrights started with kites to test their ideas about control. Then they built larger gliders. Each one taught them something new. They learned from every trial. Section 4, Taking to the Skies. They chose Kitty Hawk, North Carolina for their important flight experiments. It was a remote, lonely place located on the Outer Banks. Strong, steady winds blew there, ideal for testing gliders. The soft sand offered safer landings and fewer people would watch. Their trips there were difficult, but the location was perfect. They faced many great struggles and numerous frustrating setbacks. Their early gliders did not fly well, not as their calculations predicted. The weather was often harsh with strong gales and biting cold. Sometimes they felt discouraged, ready to abandon their dream, but their determination was strong, and they persevered through it all. December 17, 1903, a historic day. Orville Wright was the pilot for the very first attempt. The flyer lifted from the ground. It stayed in the air for 12 remarkable seconds. Man had finally flown. Section 5. A world transformed. At first, few people knew about the incredible achievement. The news spread very slowly. Some newspapers barely reported it. Many people were skeptical. The idea of flying seemed unreal, like something from a storybook. The Wright brothers continued their work, improving their machine quietly back home in Dayton, Ohio. Soon, the world began to notice. The brothers started public demonstrations, first in the United States. Then they traveled to Europe. Large crowds gathered to watch. People were filled with awe. Kings, queens, and leaders saw the airplane soaring gracefully. The reality of flight dawned. The world was truly amazed. Airplanes quickly found new uses. They began to change daily life. Mail could be delivered faster. Section 6, From Kitty Hawk to Global Skies. Aviation technology grew rapidly following the Wrights' breakthrough. Engines became much more powerful. Aircraft designs improved greatly. Planes were built with stronger materials. They could fly higher and faster. Many other talented pioneers contributed to this progress, building upon that first flight. The sky was a new frontier. People started to fly as passengers. It was not just for pilots now. Passenger air travel was born. The first airlines were established. Early passenger planes were small, often noisy and quite basic. Flying was an adventure then, a new, exciting way to travel, to see faraway cities and lands. The world opened up. Charles Lindbergh's flight was key. He flew solo across the Atlantic from New York to Paris in his small plane Spirit of St. Louis. This happened in the year 1927. It was an incredibly brave feat. Section 7. An enduring legacy. The Wright brothers changed our world. Their invention had a profound impact. Our modern world is interconnected, linked by invisible sky pathways. Global trade relies on air freight. People travel easily between countries. Ideas spread faster than ever. All of this moves quickly now thanks to their flying machine. They reshaped human civilization. Wilbur and Orville were special men. They showed great perseverance. Their ingenuity was remarkable. They worked with such dedication